So, cool fact about Nordhausen here in Thuringia. This is the last place that I know of, because I'm sure the comments will try to correct me, but the last place where they have steam trains operating in revenue service. So that's not like museum trains, but actual revenue service. You can use a Deutschland ticket on it, and they run on actual meter gauge regional tracks.
Nordhausen in the Harz Mountains of Germany. Now, I've talked about Nordhausen before back in my video on small city transit. Who knew that a city of just over 40,000 people could have its own tram network? However, Nordhausen is more famous for being the terminus of another type of transit, one reminiscent of an older time. This is me looking wistfully off in the distance. Welcome to the Harzer Schmalspurbahnen, a rail network in the Harz Mountains. This winding and crisscrossing network serves towns across Saxony-Anhalt and Thuringia, and is completely travelable using a standard German public transit ticket. And I should know, because my husband, my friend Tilda, and myself were riding using the €58 a month Deutschlandticket. Except for the route from Wernigerode up to the Brocken Mountain Lookout. That isn't covered and is actually quite pricey. But for the rest of the network, it features steam engines operating alongside diesels, DMUs, and even tram trains. That makes this, get ready for it, the last revenue passenger steam railway in Germany. What's that, you say? Ooh, people are very pissed off already. Well, okay, let me give some clarification. Not to plug another one of my videos, actually, absolutely to plug another one of my videos, but literally the second proper video I ever put out on this channel was in the Feuerger Elias, a steam train that runs in Darmstadt on Sundays every now and then. That was special because it's a historic steam train running on active tram lines, alongside the normal trams of Darmstadt. However, that is not covered by the Deutschland ticket, costing €12 for a round-trip ticket, even though it is for the most part using the standard tram network.
I got to ride a steam train.
There are technically other steam-operated routes in Germany that do accept the Deutschland ticket, such as narrow-gauge regional train lines in the island of Rügen. However, these usually require a steam supplement in addition to the Deutschland ticket, definitely playing up the touristy novelty factor of being, well, steam engines. There's also other steam operations around Germany, some of which may accept a D ticket on certain days, but these are more so special runs and not regular services, and some of the ones I have seen also require the aforementioned steam supplement. The Harzer Schmalspurbahnen, or HSB, is very special though. On 2 of their 3 routes, they accept the Deutschland ticket as is. No supplements, no reservations needed, just show up at the station and board the train.
So, on the update, they scanned the Deutschland ticket. Like, the conductor was also very nice. The Deutschland ticket works, we got it scanned, it's official.
While not every service operated is steam hauled, and the steam hauled trips are marked separate from the diesel and tram train service on the HSB schedules to actually denote what type of rolling stock is used in general. Every steam service on this route is available to be used as if it was any other regional train. But the real question is, why? Well, as we get on our way from Nordhausen to Wernigerode, where we have a date with some glühwein and potato soup, let's get into it. Ah, God, I love map time. Today's route is on the Harz Querbahn. It sees us riding train 8920, but we'll round our way through the greater Nordhausen region before reaching the junction at Eisenfelder Talmühle, where the line split north and east. The eastern section is part of the second of the 3 main routes, the Silketalbahn, the Silket... Try spell this. Say it, Jane. Say it slowly. The Silketalbahn. Was that good? This is like take 20. We'll, however, head north, again on the Harz Querbahn, gaining elevation as we do so, occasionally looping back on ourselves before terminating at Wernigerode, another junction on the route down the mountain north to Wernigerode. We will, however, have to disembark there, as our train instead will be heading into the Harz National Park up to the summit on the Brockenbahn, which is not covered by the Deutschland ticket, and I didn't really feel like paying €55 a person today just to ride it. We instead head north on the most scenic part of the route to Wernigerode itself, a route best known for its mountain views, looping curves, and also a tunnel. There's a few reasons why the HSB can get away with running steam engines on these regional routes in the Harz. First off, while there were absolutely commuters on our trains taking them around, there were also a ton of tourists. And there's even a small museum display at the station at Wernigerode Western Tor. They even have maps pointing out other big tourist attractions in the area around the train routes. Personally, I will go visit the giant liquor bottles next time I'm in Nordhausen.
Wow, goddamn, that's some great steam.
But I think another part of it is just how essential the HSB is for these communities. See, most of the standard gauge rails, 1435mm from rail to rail, across Germany are owned and or maintained by the Deutsche Bahn. That's our national rail operator, and no conservative governments in the past have tried desperately to privatize it. In the current day and age, it is a privately operated company whose one and only shareholder is the German government. Run it like a public service, damn it. Anyways, the HSB is not under the maintenance of the Deutsche Bahn, and it also runs trains to a much smaller meter gauge. That's only 1000mm from rail to rail. Most commonly in Germany, you actually see that on a lot of city tram networks. Indeed, the Nordhausen trams use that, hence why they're able to interline in the Nordhausen district when they become tram trains. Now, such a narrow gauge makes sense for the mountains. Narrow gauge railways in mountain areas are common around the world, as the smaller rail size makes it easy to just kind of snake tracks around wherever you need to, saving money on expensive tunnels, even if the trade-off is that much of this trackage is in single tracked, but hey, having a single track is better than having no railway at all, isn't it? We can see similar narrow gauge railways in Colorado, Hawaii, Switzerland, and if these seem like oddly specific random choices, I'm very specifically mentioning narrow gauge railways I've had the privilege to ride on. This is the community question for this video, by the way. Back to the HSB, it was not always separate from the national rail network as far as operations go. Back in the DDR times, the former communist East Germany, what is now the HSB was actually run by the Deutsche Reichsbahn, who after reunification was rolled up into the Deutsche Bahn. They'd taken control of the line from its private operator post-World War II. However, in 1991, a new company was formed to take control of these narrow gauge railways and for them to be handled separately from the greater DB. This was the Harzer Schmalspurbahnen, the company. And as it turns out, it's actually majority owned by local municipalities around the route the trains serve, so I guess it's public transit in the traditional sense anyways. But you can definitely tell it's not run by the DEB, even besides the fact that the routes operate steam engines on them. Steam engines, which by the way, they're very cool if you're getting up close and personal with.
Fun fact, I just got back from filming the engine, and it's fucking cold in the Harz.
They're also cool if you hang out in the vestibules between the wagons, which are open air I should add, just to take foamer photography. What a cool bunch of folks at the HSB. Our trains today, all of them arrived at our stations in time. That's a big tell it's not the DB. Not a single Zug was felt aus, while we were waiting at a station anyway. We can also tell it's different from the main rail network and how the separation of the train station Nordhausen works.
Now, this is Nordhausen Bahnhof, but to actually ride the meter gauge trains, we have to walk all the way to Nordhausen Nordbahnhof, which is literally just next door.
When you reach Dreieck and Hona, there's also a cafe in the train station that's run by the HSB, I believe. And let me say, that potato soup,
What a thoroughly pleasant journey. We were probably going to get food here, and then I guess play it by ear and whether we go up to Wernigerode or back to Nordhausen. Probably going to take a diesel rail bus, but if steam's an option, we'll take it.
After our break, when we departed from Dreieck and Hona to Wernigerode, our next steam train was rather packed. So packed, in fact, that we had to stand on the outdoor vestibule for the whole 20 and some minutes ride. And it was amazing.
Hi.
I'm not having a good time.
How are you feeling?
Fucking cold.
You ever think about how German steam engines are often run reverse in mainline service? Finally, we arrive in the town of Wernigerode. Now, while many passengers were probably riding all the way to Wernigerode Hauptbahnhof, the main station of the city, we actually got off at Wernigerode Western Tor to both explore the old town and foam like the nerds we are at the HSB maintenance yard.
So we're at the Wernigerode Western Tor, one of like 5 or 6 different stations here. Not to be confused with Wernigerode Hauptbahnhof. Really beautiful around here. It's kind of crazy to think that we came all the way here just using the D ticket. They scanned it and everything. And we've also traveled across 3 German Bundeslands today. We've gone through Thuringia, a little bit of Niedersachsen, and now we're in Sachsen-Anhalt. I love how I decide on if I'm using the German or English names just on vibes.
I guess you could say I was in the foam zone.
About Western Tour is they actually have the HSB's yards here. We can't go in, though they actually do open up the workshop on some weekends and give tours. So I'll probably come back from that for that sometime, since this really wasn't hard to reach and was very cool to see.
There's a few more crazy bits about the HSB. First off, in Wernigerode, as this was my birthday weekend, I was told I could choose anything I wanted to eat. I chose potato soup again. Truly, I have the taste palate of a pre-revolutionary Russian peasant. The HSB, cool as it is, has some odd gaps in the network. Look at how close Wernigerode is to Goslar in my home state of Lower Saxony. Now look at how long it takes to drive, and now look at how long it takes by train. There's no train routes from those places to Wernigerode, despite there being roads, and any rail routes involve looping around on a combo of standard regional trains and HSB routes, which for a tourist town like Wernigerode is probably not great on the whole. Speaking of Lower Saxony, a study was done in 2024 and expanded the HSB to connect to the town of Braulaga, a municipality who, according to my research, is actually on the HSB board. Now, if this extension does happen, I don't know if it will be served by steam or railcar, but either way, more transit gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah, my hand's really freezing.
Hey, can I touch y'all's faces?
No.
Isn't the HSB great, reliable, modern, and not the center of any controversies at all? Okay, so steam engines are cool. Anyone who is ever 5 years old once will probably agree. And actually, fun fact, hauling cargo by train, even a steam train, is still more environmentally friendly than shipping them on roads with semi-trucks. Or lorries, I guess, since according to my YouTube analytics, a huge chunk of my viewer base is British. However, steam engines do have a couple of potential risks, just teeny tiny risks. Especially when one of the routes they're going on is through a national park, an area already facing issues from a pine beetle infestation. Yeah, that's what all these down frees are. In 2022, there were forest fires in the area, and while studies seem to have mostly ruled out that they were set by steam engine embers, it still sparked, for lack of a better term, a discussion around the continued use of steam engines in heavily wooded areas. And it's an understandable query and a debate that isn't unique to the HSB either. Let's go back to the old Facebook video my parents took in Colorado. You can tell that this is an old video of the Durango and Silverton Railway because the engines here are coal burning. And due to increasing forest fire risks in the Colorado Rockies, caused as our planet hurtles towards environmental collapse, the Durango and Silverton actually converted their coal burning locomotives to oil burning so as to try to lower the risks of wild embers sparking forest fires. The HSB, though, is not at the point of converting its engines. There's been a debate about it, especially as the Harz is an already fragile ecosystem. However, if you do crave the sweet coal smell, and who can blame you, I never leave the house without spraying on some coal scent number 15. Now, I don't think the HSB will be retiring their steam engines anytime soon. Instead, they're working closely with local fire watches. On the route to the Brocken especially, once there's even a moderate risk of fire, they will begin individually deciding whether trains heading up to the summit or steam or diesel, and past a certain point pause trips altogether, which as summers get hotter and drier makes a lot of sense to me, at least as a stopgap solution. But it's almost odd to think about a hot, dry summer while going through this footage from January. Snow blanketing everything, hot drinks, train cars mercifully heated. And even as you settle down back on board a diesel train from Wernigerode back towards Nordhausen, a distant whistle echoing across the mountains.
Alright, so this is usually the part of the video where I'd answer a question, except I try to end off on like a really cool, fun thing of, oh, and I even got to ride the diesel one home. Except, the diesel haul train is currently stuck on a mountain pass because the diesel engine is kaput. And I guess we'll take a bus back to Nordhausen. Steam wouldn't do this to me.